Get a dream, hold on to it, and shoot for the sky. Space Cadet is an Amazon original from Amazon MGM Studios. It was written and directed by Liz W. Garcia, who did The Lifeguard and some other projects. Check out our IMDb page for the full list of her work. And it centers around Rex Simpson, who is a party girl in the Florida world. She's working at a bar, and she's not very far from achieving all her dreams, like going up into space, but she doesn't have the means to achieve this. Can I rhyme? No fucking way. Party, 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 party. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Okay, I'm done. No, she's not going into the aqua velvet or even the aquamarine or even the aqua, that's the water, obviously, for those that don't know. She's going up into the vastness of space. At least that's what she wanted to do. But after high school, certain events happened, including one life-altering event, to put those dreams on hold. But now, she is still using her smarts and ingenuity to have her own invention exchange in her backyard. For those that love MST3K, those particular host segments, you might love a couple scenes in this because she's invented stuff like a way to prevent manatees from getting hit by speedboats. And also a tanning chair that's basically just one of those fold-up plastic-wrapped, lawn chairs with its own, reflective tray that can either tan you or it can feed you or it can do both. Maybe it can even shave you. Oh, no, I'm both now bleeding to death and I'm tanning. At least I'll leave a good-looking corpse. Okay, it doesn't do that. Doesn't do that. That would have actually been funny. So, yeah, basically Rex always had dreams of going into space. We find this out through the beginning of the movie. She, flashbacks with her mom. She's now living with her dad. Her dad, well-intentioned, everything, does his own work, like leading people on ghost hunting adventures, tours and all that stuff. Like the Haunted Mansion, but slightly less shit. The remake of the Haunted Mansion, by the way, was terrible. Absolutely terrible. One of the worst movies of last year. I can't believe they actually did one of those. Anyway, let's move on from that and let's talk about Space Cadet. So yeah, Emma Roberts is perfect for playing a space cadet. 1, she seems really goddamn ditzy. 2, she can play a ditz. She can play somebody really smart also in movies. She can play a great bitch like in Scream 4 or in American Horror Story. Or when she allegedly abused Evan Peters. Yeah, I didn't forget about that shit. And nobody should either. You don't do that shit and get away with it. You can't run away from that stuff. That is just unfucking forgivable. You don't do that to your goddamn partner. Up my soapbox. So, she really wants to go into space. Her friend Nadine, played by Poppy Lou, that sounds like the name of a character from a telenova, but I digress. Actually, the actress, I think, is fine, does her best. She works at a gym. It's like a mock Planet Fitness, like they couldn't afford the rights to that. And she's also about to have a baby. And she decides, hey, wait a second, Rex, I want you to achieve your dreams. And you're gonna. Rex submits something to NASA. Nadine, takes some stuff out and adds a few things and then adds a few more things and basically creates this thing where Rex is so super smart and everything. Went to all these universities, graduate of all these major things, so goddamn smart. Even though she's smart, she didn't do all this stuff. But you get a guy named Logan. How's the run going? Tom Hopper. Stop playing with yourself, Hopper. Wait, no, that's Hooper. I'm sorry. Jaws. No, Space Jaws would have actually been better than something like this. My tipping my hand as to how I felt about this. Basically, Logan calls and Rex gets hired. And they got to go through a training program. Obviously, you can't just send people unqualified up into space. I mean, how would that go? You can't bring a teacher on and make them an astronaut because, what's the worst that could happen? Oh. Right. So, along the way, she meets various other cadets. Also, there's another, person in charge, Pam Proctor. No, really, that's the name. Gabrielle Union. What was Gabrielle Union doing in this? You do have Violet, or Vi for short. Verna. She, I think, does the best she can here. You have Desi Liddick, who plays Dr. Stacy. I think it's Dr. Kellogg, actually, but Dr. Stacy just makes it sound like a character WCW would have come up with for Stacy Keibler. Like Stacy Keibler would have been a doctor. Anyway, that's mean. That's only mean for those that get it. And there's also a character named Todrick. No, really. Who came up with these names? I just want to talk. Who came up with this stuff? Sebastian Yatra. So, basically, Rex has to fake her way through it. Fake it till you make it and everything. And hey, wait a second, that's just what they had to do in Fly Me to the Moon. Check that movie out, by the way. It's out in theaters, and I did a review of that. Got to see a special screen of it. So, yeah. Rex basically is smart, is able to fake her way through it for at least a little while. And along the way, we get more scenarios that become more ridiculous, more fish out of water, more unfunny, more cliched, and more head palm slammingly bad. Just boom, boom. I was about to give myself another goddamn concussion with how hard I was slapping my fucking head. Because this is bad. This is really, really bad. One, it's incredibly safe, which fine, whatever. A lot of Amazon originals are. But the idea of you as an Amazon original, and sure, that was, syrupy sweet and kind of far-fetched and whatnot. Making Anne Hathaway somebody that, isn't sure how desirable she'd be. Oh, yeah, that's totally unrealistic. But Emma Roberts, yeah, she's playing this party girl. Despite the fact she's in, I believe, her early 30s by this point. Time to grow up out of those roles. But nevertheless, essentially, Emma Roberts has to just, fake her way through this whole thing. And, yeah, we get ridiculous scenarios and bullshit and stuff like that. And, yeah, it's not meant to really be taken all that seriously. The problem is the movie has no jokes that land. They just float out into the vastness of space. This is terrible. The scenarios are not funny. The acting is atrocious, and that's mainly due to the fact that there's about that much material for the script. There's a good idea of making sure that you go after your dreams and always love your parents, while they're here and stuff like that. And always, parents either by blood or not. You don't need blood to be family. You always want to do that. And there are a few crumbs of decent, things that could have worked here. The problem is the story is so threadbare and so retreaded and so goddamn stretched out. This is an hour and 50 minutes. And yeah, it pretty much goes to credits after an hour and 40 minutes, but still, goddamn still, this thing is generic and stupid and just really lacking in any nuance, lacking in anything creative. And there's no element of danger. Like, there's no element of, anything. It's just like this movie is trapped in the vacuum of space. It's just not funny. And there's... the far-fetched nature of it wouldn't have bothered me so goddamn much, except the movie already was off the goddamn rails within the first 20 minutes, and then it kept going and going. And it stumbled, and then it suffered explosive decompression, entering the atmosphere. It's on Amazon if you want to check it out. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. How's that for a quick goddamn rush? So... I noted as everyone on drugs. This is fucking dreadful. We see Rex's childhood book. Her mom passed away, by the way, and that would be tough. That would be tough for anybody to lose a parent, especially somebody that believed in you as much as they did. And it's not that the dad doesn't believe in her. Actually, quite the opposite. He does believe that his daughter is very good. Todrick, who names these characters, is what I noted. Was there a contest between the cast members to see who could act like a less genuine person or act like they were written by AI? Because it seemed like a contest and it seemed like they were all winning. So yeah, she is basically has the wide-eyed innocence and is faking her way through the space program after Nadine basically fudges this resume and then has to fake being all these different people while working at her gym. Or the gym she works at. I don't understand why in the world this is going on. Gabrielle Union is totally wasted here. I felt like I had to be totally wasted, and I don't goddamn drink. Rex, basically didn't know that Nadine fudged up that much until she is summoned to go to NASA. So they refer to the astronaut candidates as ass cans. That is about the level of humor here. Normally I like stupid humor. This movie, however, is just stupid. It tries to be humorous. It has the skin of a comedy, stretched out like Buffalo Bill with all his victims, which that would be less painful than watching this. I would take A Family Affair over this. A Family Affair at least had Nicole Kidman and Joey King. It had Zac Efron and whatever's left of his face, but I digress. Look, the cast does their best, but Even if Emma Roberts wasn't allegedly that type, she's just not good in these roles. She's just not. It's very one note. She's been good in movies before, but this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. So, Violet discovers her secret. Violet also has her own issues. So her and Rex train. They do Call Me Maybe. They sing Call Me Maybe while riding on treadmills. Dr. Stacy is a clear villain. Kinda, sorta, not really. There's the isolation tent training where everybody's fine, but they're all delirious. Felt like I was delirious watching this shit. So, Nadine is a terrible liar, by the way. Terrible liar. Various people get taken, get cut because they're cutting down to the final 4 or final 6 or whatever. I mean, I felt like they should have just cut everybody. I felt like cutting something, possibly the rope that was holding this goddamn thing and just trying to resurrect the corpse like David Carradine in Bangkok. He got roped into a lot of roles. Violet basically gets released or cut. The secret is safe. Despite the fact Violet admitted that she didn't really belong there, but then was upset, but like, nope, don't worry, it'll be fine. Essentially, after a karaoke spot where basically Tom Hopper and Emma Roberts' characters sing, they sing Mr. Jones by Counting Crows, which is a song I hated. I mean, I don't actually really necessarily care for it now, but I remember hating it when I was a kid. So, they're all drinking. It's all debaucherous. There's a near romance, and then the 14-day simulation where Dr. Stacy cracks, and Rex uses her ingenuity. Nadine then improvises after another call, but gets exposed because she accidentally does a video call, and Rex is sent home. And we got about 30 minutes left of the movie. Maybe. Actually, I think we have about 25 minutes left of the movie. So Logan discovers that. The dad basically says, go share your gifts with the world. 8 months later, Nadine has had her kid. And the astronauts take off. But then debris and stuff happens where, oh my god, they have to be free to do what they want any old time. Todrick also, yes, an actual name featured in this movie. Apparently the names were written by Todrick. That is a stupid name. I'm sorry if anybody named Todrick is watching this, but seriously, your parents hated you. Now that being said, Todrick apparently had some space tour company thing, whatever. And he was rich. And there was like a brief indication of a romance. Also, it's obvious that Logan and Rex are going to end up together, but we have no time for that. Emma shows up and says, I have an idea. I want to go up there, and I want to have a co-pilot, and I have this guy Todrick that's going to help me, and I have the perfect co-pilot. It's Violet. And they go up there. They basically get Logan and they get Pam, Gabrielle Union's character, to agree to send them up there. They do. And she uses her training and her ingenuity to space climb, hook, and then pull this stuff off and everything. Pull it off properly without damaging the airlock like she's wrestling a gator, that she apparently did. It is Florida after all. And she has she says, oh, we did it, Mom. Which, yes, okay, that might hit if the movie was not landing with a resounding thud. And then, going on its own spacewalk and launching like that lady in Life. That movie deserved to be sent into space forever. Ironic, considering most of it took place in space. So yeah, everything's fine. She parties with everybody on her Welcome to Paradise plays, and then Vi and her now lead the space camp thing, and everything is fine. Everybody's good. It's all good. This gets an F. This is terrible. Terrible comedy, terrible romance. The idea of a little bit of honoring your parents' memory is fine, but the movie itself is so bland and banal and cliched and just, God. The sad thing is, this probably isn't even going to end up on my worst films of the year list. That's it. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about Space Cadet. Certainly was. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.